Welcome back, guys, to Trails of Cold Steel, where in Chapter 4, we head to save ourselves Princess Alfin, and of course, Rean's younger sister. Let's go straight away to the underground waterway depths, and to whatever fight we're waiting for as Gideon runs away. There they are! I'll go on ahead. I'm going with her. I'll fire off some warning shots to stop them from running. I'm with you, Rean. Alright, I'm counting on you.
It's far enough! What? Shit! What?
Rean! You came for us!
Show's over. Let Her Highness and Elise go. Now.
Considering all that you've done, I can't say I'd be entirely comfortable letting you go free.
But if you release them, we might be willing to consider it.
Damn kids.
It's 5 against 3. You've got no chance. And fleeing while trying to carry 2 hostages? I don't think that'll work out too well for you.
So, would you please just let them go?
Impressive. Very impressive. I had no idea Thors was educating such gifted students.
Save it. Look, we can keep this stalemate going all day, or you can release them. It's up to you. But I'm warning you, if there's so much as a scratch on either of them, you'll wish the police found you before I did. You.
Rean! Rean!
Very well. We surrender. I'm not so proud that I can't see when we have no chance of victory.
Then...
So you'll let them go?
Absolutely. If you can defeat him, that is. Do it.
Son of a...
A volatile anesthetic?
Fear not. I simply thought it best they sleep for a short while. After all, this is hardly a sight fit for the eyes of such innocent maidens.
Damn it!
Another monster? What the...
A howl?
This roar.
Dark Dragon of Ruination, Zoro-Agruga.
What the hell is that?
It's a...
Bone dragon?
Behold! The might of the demonic flute! An artifact capable of holding even the shadow that reigned over Heimdall during the Dark Ages in its thrall. Now, I'll have you delay your journey to perdition no longer. Farewell, dear ladies and gentlemen of Class 7.
There's no way we can take on that thing.
What are we gonna do?
I can't estimate its strength. Or even the best way to fight it.
We're not just going to roll over and die here. If you think back on how much we've grown just during this field study, there's no way this thing is going to take us down.
My blade is ready.
Too impetuous to know when you're beaten, are you? Go, Dark Tyrant! Bring down the merciless hammer of judgment upon these hapless fools!
Well, we really got right into it. And yes, why
This
can
one's
Machias
dangerous.
just shoot them?
Stay on your toes. Okay.
No one stopped them making the girls unconscious with, like, chloroform, whatever it is. Blimmin' hell! Zoro-Agruga stands before us. High magic seem to be active, or at least they seem to be a strength against them. That's right, accepts. Thank you very much. Right. Let's hope that we have no weird stuff going on the sideboard then. Don't know really what to start with at this point in time. Do you know what? If everyone's right next to each other, and we've got no delay on it.
Arcus, activate. Yeah.
Here we go.
I think buffs across the group would not be a bad idea.
All right, let's do this.
Got it.
It seems we're in good state with everyone being set up quite nicely for
Keep
it.
up, everyone!
And this is where status effects happen, right? Oh, come on!
Right.
You can't just nuke me. Alright, it seems like I might need everyone to be somewhat separate
Shatter!
and not gathered up in a nice buffable range.
Okay.
Luckily, the regen will heal up our guys for the most part quite nicely. All the same, we've got our S-crafts ready. We've got one at 200. We still don't know exactly what stats to really beat it up with, but
Go.
I'm hoping if I just use Autumn Leaf Cutter to kind of get behind it again, that might work a lot better for me.
There.
Like how we actually ran around that spot, so we went round for the other side. I've really got to learn out the targeting for that, haven't I? Alright, it's resisting stats effects.
Right.
It got HP heal, and it's casting. I think we should be able to stop that, no problem though.
Analyzing enemy attack patterns.
So all the damage we've done, counted for nothing.
I've got it!
Okay, we have the very smallest chance to unbalance Zoro-Agruga. A dragon-like theme from the Dark Ages made of bone, sprays dark breath, and has the power to shape space itself. Very weak to burn, or at least normally weak to burn.
Of course.
I guess we keep armor breakering it for now.
Shatter!
Shall I use Fee for the...
Okay.
No, actually I'll use a normal attack from Fee. Didn't impede.
Go.
Can I impede this? That's my question now. So that's where he starts the attack. Okay. I think the big dragon... that seemed incredibly not useful for whatever. Don't worry, I'll run around the dragon to then jump through back to my original position. It's fine. We blinded it and impeded it. It seems like I can't really armor break it though, does it?
Too slow.
Now is he missing because of the blind that we've managed to get on there? That would have to be my first guess. Now what are you actually weak to? I mean, we've got this new spell after all. You are somewhat weak to water. We could have fire still. Shall I just cast a big off spell and see how much damage it does?
My turn.
I think we could just keep attacking it normally. I hope there's a critical coming up on the board, to be perfectly fair. After all, I've run out of plus strength for this point in time. Now, can you be delayed?
Go.
I'll take you up!
Of course.
Doesn't look like it. Keep going with the armor
Shatter.
breaker. Nope, it doesn't work, does it? Well, that did a fair whack of damage.
Here we go.
Okay, they seem to have resisted whatever status effect was happening.
Go.
I'll take you up!
We're getting a lot of follow-ups there.
My turn!
Okay, Laura's on a critical, but we have two people at 200 CP, so maybe I'd like to yoink the critical with them instead. I mean, I could Hydro Cannon critical. I could Silver Thorn critical. He's weak to that too, isn't he? Not as much as he would be to Dark Matter, mind you. Should I just do his normal spell critical instead?
Arcus, activate!
Let's
Okay.
see how that turns out. Okay, I do need to watch out about your HP, however, by the look of things. Taking a bit more of a hit than I'd really expect. Can we give you any buffs using some food at this point in time? Coastal Town restores 25 CP. We're looking for something that gives a little bit of like summing up. Speed plus 25%, 5 turns? Because she needs that.
Not bad.
That's a fair whack of damage.
My turn.
Still completely... Oh, no, you're not immune to status down, but it's harder to hit you with. But still, it does crazy good damage, so what do I have to complain?
Shatter!
Probably because it turned imbalance.
I'll handle it.
A million attacks later.
Here we go.
I feel like morale across the party would be good again. Great Quake.
You okay?
Thanks.
Right, did that delay me as well? It looked like it may have.
Give it up, everyone!
Okay.
At this point, it's not too bad for us to just wail away. Especially when Fee just got her entire HP pulled back from having 2 moves.
Too slow.
And another counter.
Okay.
Right, do I want to keep trying to blind it then, considering that seems to be like a possible attack? So maybe flash grenades or something? Or do I just want to keep Sylphie Dance ready to nuke out when I want to be honest? I might be just better off casting like an Impassion on her and just using it now. And going from there. Ooh, I could buff myself with even more ATS as well.
My turn.
Right, Motivate, we're close enough for Fee to get it.
All right, let's do this.
Got
Of course.
Yeah, definitely better off doing the armor break than normal attacks, that's for sure. I basically have like a S-break showcase whenever I want to take this guy down properly.
it. Too slow. My turn.
Fee is just too fast for the dragon at the moment.
Right!
I'll handle it.
Of course.
Okay, she managed to get poison on it that time? Speed down as well?
Shatter! Now!
If only we had a rush there. Defense down is actually attack this time.
My
Have
turn.
you still got defense down on this turn? Oh, you've lost it already. See, that'd be a good time to just S-break and just lay waste to everything. But I would probably bet that we could probably lay waste to everything.
Dabble on my blade. Strike.
That's that turn of burn. Oh,
I'll handle it.
I think some normal attacks will
My
do
turn.
just fine, especially when it's going to move and just die instantly. So let's use one more craft. Can only use it on you directly. Ah, balls. I'd love to have healed a little bit up there. Just to make sure Fee's fine. Right. Let's make sure she's full HP. Before we take this beast down. Just
My
in
turn.
case if Gideon's got any more up his bloomin' sleeve.
Hey!
Normal attacks will
I'll
do the
handle
job.
it. Done. But we can't relax yet.
Except it still seems to be standing. Not good, as Fee and Machias reach level 42. No one else do. You boned him good, I did indeed. We got the Grim Butterfly.
Done.
An A+ outcome.
But are we going to stop them taking the girls?
Impossible.
Laura! V!
Roger. Ah!
What?
What? You damned!
What?
Yeah!
No. The demonic flute. Let's check and mate.
Whew, that was a tough one.
What's our plan, Comrade G?
You vile.
Comrade G?
I am fully prepared to lay down my life for our cause. It is not death I fear, but this operation is too important to leave even a corpse behind. I'm afraid I must do what needs to be done, even if that means harming a member of the Imperial family.
I think it's about time we came out to play.
What the?
Who are...
Oh my, aren't you a quick little kitty? Just my type.
That's the Sylphid I know.
Comrade S? Comrade V?
Ah, you came for us. What a relief. Now we can...
These must be...
We're terrorists.
I seem to recall specifically telling you to leave this operation to me. But I can't say I'm unhappy you decided to check in.
Sorry, boss. But if you got yourself caught here, we would have been off to a pretty bad start.
I do apologize for cutting in, but we figured it was for the best. Comrade C decided to join us too.
And so I have.
a mask.
Comrade C, I wasn't expecting to see you here. Did my planning for this operation seem that flawed to you?
On the contrary, it was almost perfect. But no plan is completely foolproof. One must always factor in unpredictable elements. As the ladies and gentlemen of Class 7 here have demonstrated so brilliantly.
How does he know who we are?
Who are you?
We have already fulfilled our primary objective. Courting dishonor by harming a member of the Imperial family will gain us nothing now. Do you not agree?
No, you're right. Release them.
Understood. Right.
Elliot, Machias, I'm leaving the two of them to you.
Okay.
Got it.
There, a gesture of goodwill, in the hopes that we may yet resolve this without bloodshed. What say you, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7? Will you stand aside and let us leave peacefully?
Like hell we will.
You abducted the Imperial princess and an innocent girl. Drugged them.
What Erebonian would stand idly by in the face of such an outrage?
It's 5 against 6. This won't be easy.
Guys,
You got guts, kids. I'll give you that.
Well, I certainly wouldn't mind a little roughhousing.
No, it's only right that I be the one to test their mettle. Wielders of the longsword, the great sword, the twin gun swords. Stand and face me. I shall be your opponent.
What?
Think of this as an entertaining way to kill some time. The railway military police are already on their way. Until then, pour out the vessel of your wrath upon me.
Interesting.
He's awful sure of himself.
Is he serious? There's no way he can win against all three of them.
Whoa, what kind of weapon is that?
Another relic from the Dark Ages. A double saber.
I am C. That is all you need to know. Now, come at me if you think you're able.
We're at a strategic disadvantage. We should have left.
Allow us to begin.
My turn.
This is not a good idea, guys. Right, what do I have? Oh, I don't have any scanning. I thought he had scanning. Alright, well, let's chrono drive.
Arcus, activate.
And hope that whatever's going to happen here isn't bad. Just most of my HP. And... What? Okay.
Arcus,
Speed ourselves up.
Yeah.
We kind of need to be spread out.
Right.
It's too bad I can't move somewhere and spread out. We've no clue what kind of stats this guy... Oh, he's level 60. Oh, that tells me most of what I need to know here. Basically immune to mostly everything. Cool. If I know that much, let's get him scanned, I guess? I know I've got no links at the moment, but things are bad enough as they are. A mysterious masked man who leads the terrorists wields a double saber with immense skill, using varied attacks.
My turn.
Right, well, your first turn should be to run away, but the problem is with that is... Oh, actually, yeah. Heal yourself, maybe. Yeah, let's heal you, Rean. Oh, he's actually... They're actually link disabled. That's the first thing he did was to break links. Right. So I will use another bomb there.
My turn.
Oh, I could actually hit him. So I want to use an autumn leaf cutter to get to the other side of him. So if I'm doing that, I should go from here. And miss!
Okay.
Completely! Let's see, completely is good. Oh, what?
I was careless.
Of course.
You were careless slash... Can I not even attack this guy?
Thanks.
Without opening myself up to death?
Arcus, activate.
Oh!
That's our C for you.
Ooh, can't deny he's got the brains and the brawn to lead.
What power?
He might even be as strong as Sarah.
Just... who are you people?
From today, you shall know us as the Imperial Liberation Front. In our hearts, the flames of silent anger. In our hands, the hammer of judgment that shall topple the dictator. That is our cause, our purpose.
The Imperial Liberation Front?
What dictator?
Freeze, all of you!
Instructor! Captain Claire!
Just in time.
It appears the time has come to make our exit.
Huh? Is that...
Farewell. I'm sure we'll meet again.
What? A bomb?
See you around.
Ta-ta for now, my little darlings.
Let's see you claw your way out of this grave.
The passage is collapsing! Hurry!
Right! We couldn't leave Juan up alone.
Rean, you carry Her Highness.
Got it!
Whew, that was pretty touch and go back there. But I'm glad to see you all pulled through.
Well, thanks to you, Instructor.
I had my doubts we were going to make it out of that alive.
You could have come a bit sooner.
Sorry. Anyway, there's no way we'll be able to follow them now.
Indeed.
So, the Imperial Liberation Front, is it? Your Highness! Elise!
Oh, thank goodness. Whatever drug they were given doesn't seem to have had any lasting effects.
I feel like I've caused you all a lot of trouble, but thank you for rescuing me.
I'm just glad that you're safe and unharmed.
What happened?
Are you alright, Your Highness? How are you feeling?
Rean? I'm fine. You should worry more about your sister.
Looks like the intelligence division was right on the mark. We have a number of the routes back to the surface locked down. Think we could smoke them out?
Personally, I doubt it. This tunnel system is incredibly expansive, with too many areas we know nothing about. Continue the search for a while longer, then focus on restoring order in the city.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send a report to the other divisions and let them know the situation's been resolved.
So, Imperial Liberation Front, what's your game?
Thank you very much for the follow there, Pokercraft. As we now get ourselves out of these underground passages, I'm sure. And they should be admonished for not securing the hostages first. Choosing the fight? Not a clever move, as it seems we moved several days in the future.
In the end, the Railway Military Police brought the chaos under control, and the first day of the festival came to a close. Despite his injuries, Governor Regnitz kept on top of things, ensuring that the rest of the festival passed by peacefully. The next morning, it was time for us to leave the capital behind and make our way back to Trista.
Ooh, an invitation to the palace, you say?
I really don't know how to begin thanking you. You've done so much for our family that I doubt we'll ever be able to repay you.
Not at all, Your Highness.
There's nothing to repay us for. We just did what we had to. Oh, come now. There's no need to be so modest. It scares me to think what might have happened if Elise and I had been taken away by those people. So I can't thank you all enough. Please allow me to extend my thanks for your help as well. I'm truly grateful.
Elise.
Oh, I'm just glad you're safe.
Group B's efforts were a great help to Cedric and I as well. Thank you again for your assistance in restoring order to the city.
I'm honored, Your Highness.
I'm so glad to have been of service.
Just think of it as returning the favor for your help pushing to make Class 7 a reality. Still, now we've got the Imperial Liberation Front to worry about.
Regrettably. There have been signs they were up to no good behind the scenes before now. That incident in Nord, for example. But now they've finally stepped out of the shadows and announced themselves to the world. They appear to be insurgents in the truest sense of the word, led by several key figures, C being the most prominent. The Intelligence Division is doing its utmost to gather information about these leaders even as we speak.
They struck me as rather mysterious in some ways. Even though they abducted us, they rarely showed the kind of maliciousness one would expect from terrorists. It seemed more like they were in the grip of some kind of intense passion. True. Not that it excuses abducting Your Highness like they did.
An intense passion, you say?
It did seem that way.
In our hearts, the flames of silent anger. In our hands, the hammer of judgment that shall topple the dictator. That's what their leaders said when they made their appearance.
Indeed. All the ham-handed theatrics of a middle school play.
Yeah. You can tell how gleeful he must have been to say the flames of silent anger in front of an audience.
Well, it's no mystery what they're referring to, at least.
Oh, thank goodness. I didn't miss you.
Wait, isn't that...
Is he?
Dad's with him, too.
Oh, I'm glad you made it, Cedric!
Just in time, too.
Your Highness?
Did you come all this way just to bid us farewell?
Of course. After all you've done for us, I thought it was the least I could do. Is this the rest of Class 7? It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Cedric Rice Arner. I wanted to thank you for coming to my sister's aid in her time of need. Allow me to extend to you my most heartfelt appreciation.
You're too generous, Your Highness.
The honor was ours.
Thank you, Your Highness.
This is the Crown Prince. He's pretty cute.
Fee?
I certainly wouldn't mind if he took a few lessons in manliness from the gentlemen of Class 7, though.
Alfin, come on.
I think that's a little harsh, Your Highness.
Well, you're still just 15. You have plenty of growing ahead of you. Still, it isn't often I see you keeping the Imperial Governor company.
I suppose that's true. I just happened to be here on business, so I thought I'd take the chance to say goodbye to everyone.
How are you feeling? Are your injuries all right now?
Yes, nothing too serious, fortunately. I'm still feeling it, but it shouldn't be too much longer before I'm back to my old self.
That's good to hear.
I'm glad to see you looking all hale and hearty, Your Excellency.
Thank you. While no one could have foreseen how it ended, you did manage to complete this month's field study. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to congratulate you for your exemplary work.
We're honored you'd say so.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
We three directors may have very different positions on many issues, including how Class 7 should be run. But for my part, I'd like you to enjoy student life however you choose. I think the other directors would agree with me on at least that much.
Dad.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way, Your Excellency.
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about, Your Highness.
Well, if you say so. I've always found you a trustworthy man, of course. But...
Ah, I see that everyone's here.
Oh, it couldn't be.
Chancellor Osborne!
As a matter of fact, the Chancellor and I just came from an audience with His Majesty the Emperor.
I'm overjoyed to see you safe and well, Princess Alfin. Clearly, the goddess has bestowed her blessings upon us.
Thank you, Chancellor.
I'd also like to reassure Prince Oliver that we're starting a nationwide hunt for members of the Imperial Liberation Front. An investigation into the backgrounds of its members is also underway, so you needn't worry.
My. Nothing gets past you, does it? Well, I suppose that means you have the security detail for next month's trade conference well in hand?
Of course. I'll see to it that everything is taken care of. Ah, but where are my manners? Please excuse me for not introducing myself. I'm Gileath Osborne, representative of the Erebonian government. Though I imagine those of you who read the papers may know me better as the Blood and Iron Chancellor.
It's an honor to meet you, Your Excellency.
Your reputation precedes you, Your Excellency.
I've heard much about the recent exploits of Thors Class 7. Traveling across the Empire for first-hand learning of your field studies, it's quite the fascinating program. I hope you'll keep up the good work.
We shall endeavor to.
Thanks.
I hope we'll live up to your expectations.
Ah, yes. It's been quite some time, young racer. I'm glad to see your new career path is working out for you.
Thank you, Chancellor. I wouldn't be where I am today if not for you. I really owe you for all you've done for me.
Haha, General Van Dyke was my superior back when I was in the Army. As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance. I should have it ready for you in a few weeks' time.
What are you...
I have great expectations for you all. Nurture the bonds you share, and train up bodies and wills of steel. For I have no doubt you'll need them in the turbulent times to come.
Oh. Rean?
And so ends Chapter 4, A Midsummer's Revels. With heartbeats. Heartbeats that say too much. Well, so Chapter 5 begins, or more to the point, our middle point, as we head back to Thors Military Academy by the look of it. Let's see where the story takes us next, now that even more villains are revealed.
Ooh, you're moving up in the world.
Or see how we're moving up in the world. We're at A5.
I've got a little reward here for you.
A1 Stragers. Now, that's fancy shoewear. Anything else I can get?
Drinks are on me
Oh,
someday.
that's it? Okay. Oh, we got the full list now. How well did I do this time?
Perfect. You guys are the best.
So what's that so far? SSAS? Gotta talk to everyone. It may mean we just walk around town for 10 billion years, but if I can get everything, great. As long as it doesn't give me a multiple choice talking or teaching thing, I can do it. As long as it just requires talking to everyone at every point in the game, we can get the S rank. Class 7's bonds have strengthened. As Rean and Elise reached link level 4, they now have Cheer and Powerful Strike. What's that? Okay, Rean and Elliot have Art Support and Powerful Strike. Well, Rean just gets Powerful Strike by the look of them. Emma's got Auto Curia, which is really good when I think about it. Oh, Auto Status, get rid of. Nice. Rean Use has reached level 3. And that's as far as we get there. Right, let's get ourselves a save. Is it SASS? I thought it was SSAS. I don't know anymore. I thought it was like the teaching stuff that we failed inside the plains. What Gaius' hometown. That's where I feel the mess up really happened. Alright then, let's continue on and see where the game takes us. Oh, he did say 2 weeks. It's a bit more than 2 weeks. What's the support we're getting from a very unhappy Sarah?
It was the peak of summer, and the sweltering sun was beating down on the residents of Trista. After returning from Heimdall, we were given a whopping 5-day summer vacation before the school year resumed. Turns out, Thors sticks to its military roots, only granting extended vacations to students over the New Year's holiday. However, nobles are allowed to visit home, ostensibly to give them time to become familiar with their family's holdings. And, as you might expect, that meant most students from classes 1 and 2 spent summer away from Trista. Meanwhile, classes 3 through 5 were stuck on campus, envying the nobility as they studied and trained as usual. The other members of Class 7 and I chose to stay in Trista as well, facing the heat with our fellow students.
Why not? Get ahead of the nobles. Get more training in. Maybe Alan can be better than Patrick by the time this break is over, eh? These are the things that matter. The side characters' jewels. It's so hot. I'm dying in here. I'm sick of this heat already. Talking about it is just making me feel even hotter. The Academy should install an orbital air conditioner. At least then it'd be a little easier to cope. An orbital air conditioner? What is that? Well, it's this device that blows out cool air to help regulate a room's temperature. Maybe it'll help if you think of it as the opposite of a stove. Wow, that's some kind of wizardry. I've heard of them, but aren't they supposed to be prohibitively expensive? Only the most modern buildings seem to be able to afford them. Do you have one in your house? Well, there's one in the Rhineford Company's corporate headquarters, yeah. It'd be nice if my mother could spare one. You know, for the academy she sits on the board of directors for. It seems a bit much to hope for. It's the military academy, so I doubt we can expect to be indulged quite that much. Still, a machine to help us keep cool in the summer. Whoever first invented that should get a medal. I'll admit, the summer heat here is more difficult to cope with than in Legram. But as long as I think of it as another part of my training, it doesn't bother me all that much. Rayahard gets similar summer heat waves, but there's usually a breeze blowing in from the canyon at this time of year. That does make summers a bit easier to manage. My hometown's up in the mountains, so it's pretty cool leaving around this time of year. Actually, now you mention it, I would have thought you three would go back home for the summer, being nobles and all. You were given permission, weren't you? If everyone else was going home, I would have considered it. But in the end, I decided against it. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago I got to see Elise. Maybe next year. I came here to train. Until I feel like I've made significant progress, I have no intention of returning home. Some of you saw my father's mansion. Do you think I'd go back to a place like that willingly? I'd much rather stay here and take my chances with heat stroke. You're really that uncomfortable at home, huh? Still, as it is, there's a lot going on right now. I doubt all the people headed to that conference at the end of the month have much time to be worrying about the heat. You make a good point. You're talking about the Western Maria Trade Conference, right? That's the one. There's never been an international conference on that scale before, at least not in modern times. Mayor Dieter Klois, who also happens to be the International Bank of Crossbell CEO, was the one who first proposed it. I've heard that Prince Oliver will be attending on behalf of His Majesty the Emperor, and Chancellor Osborne is supposed to be attending too. Seems crazy to think we met them both just a few weeks ago. The Chancellor in particular was a pretty intimidating figure. Seemed like a big scary monster. I've heard he served in the Imperial Army before becoming a politician. Then 11 years ago, His Majesty entrusted him with the position of Chancellor. Supposedly a full 70% of the Imperial Army is under his jurisdiction. His real fame comes from establishing most of the nation's railway network centered on the capital, though he's also been responsible for annexing several smaller countries and independent states around Erebonia. I believe those all took place without any bloodshed though, at least as far as I'm aware. I wouldn't put too much stock in what he's selling. Military spending in this country has increased exponentially since he took up his position as Chancellor, and that's only possible thanks to the tax revenue he gleans from the people of Heimdall and those annexed nations. Well, he was the one who ordered the construction of those 2 railway guns that got pointed at Crossbell too. At one point, Erebonia was on the verge of a full-scale war with Calvard because of those things. Oh yeah, I heard it was actually LeBeau that proposed a way to avoid an armed conflict. They end up signing the Non-Aggression Pact, right? Yeah, though, as I'm sure you've noticed, there's still quite a bit of tension between the 2 countries. I wouldn't be surprised if the issue reared its head again during the trade conference. Chancellor Oswald's been a really popular figure in the capital, though. Popular enough that he seems to have a group of terrorists after him. He does seem to be the Imperial Liberation Front's main target, doesn't he? You know, the hammer of judgment that shall topple the dictator and all that? Indeed, they seem to harbour a deep-seated grudge against him. Their anger seemed a bit unusual in its intensity, didn't it? He does seem like the type who'd make a lot of enemies, especially with a face like that. Well, I'd rather not speak ill of my father's close ally, but... Kind of think of it, isn't the instructor awfully late? It's well past time for homeroom to start. True, it should have started about 10 minutes ago, actually. I swear, that woman, she better not be sleeping off another hangover back at the dormitory. Wouldn't put it past her. I wish I could say there's no way our upstanding instructor would do that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Excuse me? I'll have you know I did no such thing. Today.
Instructor?
Good morning, Instructor.
Morning, everyone! Anyway, I'll have you know I've got a good reason for being late today. And that reason is, we're going to be welcoming a new classmate today.
What?
A transfer student at this time of year?
Seriously?
All right, come on in.
Righto.
Huh?
Crow?
But isn't he a second-year student?
I'm Crow Armbrust. Starting today, I'll be joining you fine folks as a member of Class 7. It's gonna be pretty sweet, guys.
What?
What? I mean, how?
Are you sure you want to know? It's a long tale fraught with the intrigue of school politics.
I don't think I'd put it quite like that. Back in his first year, he slacked off so much that he ended up failing a few of his classes. Then he came crying to me in a panic like, "Oh, help me, Instructor Sarah, they're not gonna let me graduate." So as a special exception, he's going to be joining us for the next 3 months to pay for his laziness.
You can't be serious.
That's an even more pathetic reason than I was bracing myself for.
I think you already know that Crow was one of the trial users for the Arcus test they ran last year. So I thought he might be a good role model for you. In that sense, anyway. And don't forget, he'll also be joining us on our future field studies, too.
Nice. Looks like you saved me the trouble of having to explain it all. Anyway, let's let the good times roll. Oh, and since we're all classmates now, no need for all that sweet talking you lay on the other second years, all right?
Right. Easier said than done, I fear.
If he was any more laid back, he'd be comatose.
Instructor, I can't help but notice you left the door open.
Wait, is there someone else, too?
Huh? Are you serious?
Oh, I was hoping to catch you off guard. All right, come on in and say hello.
I thought you forgot I was out in the hall!
What?
What?
You must be joking.
Hey, aren't you?
You're the girl we met in the Nord Highlands. Yuppers! Long time no see, guys! But I see a couple of you I don't know, so I guess I better introduce myself. I'm Milliam Orion. And this here is Erigetlum, but we'll just call him Lammy for short.
What the hell is that?
Holy crap!
It's that thing we saw at Ark's fort.
So this is that strange girl you met in the Nord Highlands.
Oh, and a little house rule before anything gets blown up. No bringing that thing out in the classroom. If he accidentally smashes a wall or blasts through the ceiling, I'm the one who's gonna get chewed out for it.
Boo! Fine. Anyway. Nice to meet you guys.
Tell me you're kidding. Please?
I really wish I could.
Well, I can see we're in for some fun times these next 3 months.
There's too many choices now. Too many! As we move forward to Saturday. Oh my goodness. 2 more party members possibly? Too many choices. I've only got 4 in a party. 3 days went by. At first, no one was sure what to make of Crow Armbrust and Intelligent Division agent Milliam Orion's sudden transfer into Class 7. But within a matter of days, it almost felt like they'd been there all along. I'm sure none of you need to be reminded it was none other than Emperor Drycles who ended the War of the Lions. But did you know that historical records tell us he had amazingly few soldiers under his command? Initially, his allies numbered only a few confidants and several warriors from Nord. And while supporters rallied to him in each region, his ranks still couldn't hope to compare to the other princes' armies. Nonetheless, they continued to advance, liberating region after region, and after half a year of bloody battles, Prince Drycles met perhaps his most well-known supporter. Milliam, right? Would you happen to know the historical figure to whom I'm referring? Sure do! Liane Sandlot, also known as the Lance Maiden. Crows in the background sleeping. Oh, right you are. Well done. Sandlot was the daughter of a count who ruled over a remote region, and accounts tell us she showed great martial skill from a young age. In particular, her skill with the lance was unparalleled. No records exist of her ever being bested in combat. The Lance Maiden also had a group of mighty warriors under her command who fought alongside her in battle. Perhaps you'd like to illuminate us as to the name of this famous band, Rean? Exclamation mark! The group of mighty warriors led by the Lance Maiden. That's the... I'm pretty sure I only know one of these names to begin with. So let's go with that. I'm pretty sure I've probably been told this in SC, I'm not sure. But I know of the Eisenritter. The Eisenritter, also known as the Iron Knights. They are a band of knights said to be able to charge across the battlefield like lightning, cutting down all in their path. Wait, is it the Eisenritter that... I don't know anymore. Oops.
Onwards.
Yeah. Well, we've made a choice. Not getting an S rank this time. They're a band of knights said to be able to charge across the battlefield like lightning, cutting down all in their path. Correct, you've done your homework, have I? The Wandering Prince met the Lance Maiden one day during a prolonged conflict in a remote region of the country. After recognizing each other as reliable and trustworthy, they pledged to fight together under a united banner. Now I'm confused. Which organization did Kevin belong to? I thought it was the Eisenritter. That's the only one I've heard of, isn't it? Oops. They pledged to fight together under a united banner. With the Lance Maiden and the Knights bolstering his ranks, Drycles' army swept through one region after another. In just a year, he was able to defeat the other princes and free the Imperial capital, Heimdall. As an interesting footnote, the castle the Eisenritter used as their base of operations 250 years ago. Oh god, it was the Growlsritter? So I got it completely wrong, but I got it right. Whoops. I thought, that's the only one I've heard of. Just so happens to be only a hop, skip, and jump away from Laura's home in Leghorn. Indeed, it's known as Lohengrin Castle. It's a beautiful old building situated on the shore of Lake Ebel to the west of Leghorn. Oh, you mentioned that before. Does anyone live there now? Nope, due to the dangerous terrain there, no one goes near it. These days it exists simply as a relic of a bygone age. The Arseid family is responsible for the care and maintenance of the castle, though really only minimal work is done. Speaking of the Arseid house, wasn't one of your ancestors the Eisenritter's second in command? Indeed, the Lance Maiden's most trusted assistant and confidant from what I understand. The Sandlot family line ended with the death of the Lance Maiden. And it's partly because of that the Arseid family mourns her death each year. I see. Oh, what a fascinating story. Lego Ma, never had a mission there, so I've never been able to go. Maybe I should have stopped by when I went to Berehard a while back. So many subs coming in, I can't read them. You think she'd at least try to conceal the fact that she gets sent all over the country on secret missions? I know, she totally just let it slip that she was doing something in Berehard too. Well, I suppose it's better than her being all distant and cagey around us. AP increased by 1. I got the correct answer. Hooray! I got it completely wrong, but managed to get it right because I got it wrong. Oh well, that's fine. Completely forgot about Grailslitter. I should look at his holy grail, shouldn't I? How did I get that so wrong? I'm so glad I didn't go with the one I thought it would be. That would have been a terrible mistake. Razak, thank you for gifting a sub to Serenity, Phoenix, and Lure. If that's how I pronounce the name. We get lucky sometimes. Get lucky a lot of times. Unless we're fishing. Okay, so tomorrow's a free day. Which means that next Wednesday, you'll have your usual practical exam. You better all bring your A game. Oh, Miniam and Crow. A few must have instructional materials you guys are going to need as part of Class 7 finally showed up. I'll hand that stuff off to you once we're done here, so I want you to come with me to the faculty lounge. Righto! Man, what a drag. Alright, homeroom's out for the day. Flee! Flee while you can! Marcus, if you do the honors. Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow. As another gifted sub comes into Anstar. Thank you, Judicious. Now Class 7 get to gossip among themselves. So, what do you think? Well, I don't think we have to be on our guard around her, at least. Same. Though I'd rather she kept that giant silver thing of hers hidden. I don't think she's a bad girl. I was taking a nap in the courtyard yesterday and she came and fell asleep next to me. What's that to do with whether or not she's trustworthy? Like a couple of kittens all curled up together. Their possible personalities may be worlds apart, and they're both rather cat-like in their own ways. She can't be more than 12 or 13, still practically a child. Yeah, you're right. She's so chipper all the time that it's hard to really be cold toward her. Yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to spurn her. She's got this natural charm, I think. Be that as it may, her presence here reeks of blood and iron, if you take my meaning. Well, it certainly seems that way.
As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance. I should have it ready for you in a few weeks' time.
It's hard to believe a girl like that could be an agent of the intelligence division. But just going off what happened in Nord, there's not much that would make me doubt him now. And then there's that thing, Ergebon, that's always with her. She calls it Lammy, but aside from its name, we don't really know anything about it. It seems to be made from some strange material with both metallic and ceramic properties. Hard, but pliable. Agreed. It doesn't look like anything you could make even with the most cutting-edge orbital technology. When I touched it, it felt really nice and cold. Wow, so you actually touched it! It hasn't escaped my notice that it seems strikingly similar to the combat shells we fight in our practical exams. I think it's safe to assume that they share some kind of common origin. Yeah. The instructor said she was forced to accept it, though in a sense, Million was forced on us too. You're going to think that if you will, but I don't trust her. Either way, she's technically our classmate now, like it or not. It may be a little early to tell whether we can trust her as a friend, but we should be able to figure out pretty quickly whether we can count on her as a member of Class 7. Ah! Well, that's a logical way of breaking it down at least. You're right, still pretty early to make sweeping judgments. Knowing her background would be great, but what's really important is whether we can count on her in a fight. Agreed, as students of a military academy, that's probably the most important issue. We'll have to wait and see. Well, considering we're living in the same dormitory, it'd be good if we all got along. Yeah, I wouldn't want her to think we're trying to make her feel unwelcome either. And then there's Crow. What's he like, Rean? You seem like you get along with him pretty well. I don't know if I'd put it quite like that. If I had to say, I'd describe him as a capricious gambling addict way too prone to ante up for every hand. Maybe just help us. It sounds like a kind of miscreant one would be better off avoiding. You can count him when the chips are down, though. He really helped me out last month when Elise went into the old schoolhouse. He's good in a fight, and pretty handy with his arcus too. Maybe we're worrying over nothing then. Still, I'm not really sure how to connect with him, you know. Well, at least we're in separate dorms for the time being. We'll just have to see how things go. Well, now we're up to 11. Well, we have 4 more spaces filled in. How many more tables do you reckon we could fit in? Well, I think we could fit in another row. We just have to scooch up a little bit. Classmates galore in the future. Who can we add? Let's just add the all the second years. We'll get Toa, we'll get Angelica. Get them all.
Hello, Rean Schwarzer speaking.
Oh, hi there, Rean.
Speaking of.
Do you have a moment?
Toa? Well, this is a surprise. What can I do for you?
You've got a new student in your class now, right? Well, her student notebook is ready, so I figured it'd be best to get it to her as soon as possible. And since you handled it last time, would you mind coming to get it for her?
Ah, you're talking about Milliam. Sure thing. I'll come get it right away. You want me to swing by the student council room then?
That'd be great. Thanks.
She sure doesn't waste any time. I should head on over to the student council room before it gets too late.
Well, we got to check out the school first. Don't you understand how this works? While Colette's walking around, where is everyone? Pretty much everyone's in the school then, by the look of things. Second floor, first floor. Crow's gone. Where's Crow gone? Is he in there? Just like overlapped by Sarah, maybe? It's probably the case. Alright, you're over with your horses and academy field uses. Laura's swimming. You're gardening still, Fee. Macias is maybe studying? No, he's not in the library, is he? He's in the student union. Well, let's go around and talk to everyone as we usually do. Try not to miss a thing. I'm sure it's quiet around the academy when the nobles are away. But I'm so jealous. I wish the rest of us could go home for a month. I'd be able to beg my parents to take me shopping all the time. Thinking about it, there's less students on the campus currently to talk to as well. The nobles are all gone. Maybe they'll fill out with some more people. Alright, Emma, right, Alyssa. We kind of wanted your storyline to be next, but I feel like it's not going to happen anytime soon. Class 7's a whole lot livelier these days, isn't it? Even putting Crow aside, I never would have expected some girl we met in Nord would become our classmate. Life is full of surprises. It feels like they've already become part of the fabric of our class too. Definitely. I don't think we should have any trouble getting along with them. Well, now for now at least. You two seem more like responsible adults than any of us, Instructor Sarah included. You think you can look after Milliam? Not a problem. We're all classmates after all. Helping each other out is what we do. Crow should theoretically be able to take care of himself, but maybe we should ask Milliam how she's doing with classes. I'm worried that some of the material might be a bit on the difficult side for us, so we should all try to help her out. That Eggetlam of hers is a real mystery though, isn't it? I'm really curious about how it works. Bet you would be, technical lady. Is it time to travel around Tokyo looking for a model gun shop to take into mementos? I have no clue what you mean. Of course I have a vague idea of what you mean, but still. I hurt my arm pretty bad last month. Yes, we did hear. So I'm not going to be able to play in the concert tomorrow. I'll just have to leave it in the hands of Elliot and the others. I'm pretty frustrated with myself, but all I can do now is help them out with whatever they need. Anything else you got to say? I might not be able to play, but I can still help everyone out. I'm pretty annoyed with myself, but I'll do what I can.